Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I'm an artist and spiritualist. I paint art that is the meeting of art and spirituality, symbolic art. For I do believe that there is a space within the world for such a creative expression. So I'm really looking forward. I feel that my time will soon be coming. Spirit said my time is here, but I'm waiting for those manifestations. Today I wanted to speak about the collective brotherhood, the Melchizedek brotherhood, the Great White Brotherhood. It is a collective brotherhood that is all inclusive. Yet it is somewhat of part of what we would call the spiritual aristocracy. For the Melchizedeks are the ground of that brotherhood. Yet as spirit beings, when we came into this universe, we integrated that brotherhood, and we're serving all the families and all the universe. And so the Melchizedeks are higher teachers. They are spiritual teachers. They hold their headquarters at the center of the universe, and they have a homeworld at the constellation center, the system center, and they are Melchizedek receivers on the planet. You can always ask them. They're always wise in counsel, and sometimes they even incarnate, but they are the higher teachers of the universe, in the sense that when the Father, Mother, God are sent into their local universe, and they start establishing the stabilize, once the physical planes are more or less stable, they can establish their own circuits of spiritual circuits, and they create a vast host of celestial beings. And the Melchizedeks they were the first one, their seniority in sonship in the local universe, descending sons and of God, and so they are the teachers of all the celestial intelligence. They have very specific tests that they apply through all celestial intelligence, the angels and so on. And after those tests are made, they're perfect tests, that they are able to know what is the perfect function for those celestial beings. For there are many things that the universe is ruled by intelligence, and by higher intelligence, even though it doesn't always look like this when we look at the Earth world. For there is a greater plan at work, and so the Melchizedeks are here, and they are universal logos. You can contact them telepathically. They will assist you no matter what our level of consciousness. If we're sincere and we are receptive to guidance, they will provide. Of course, we have our guides, we have all kinds of other spiritual beings that are always here on assistance to us. I'm going to pull a few cards I was called to come in today. For the situation in the world is the Holocaust. It's the Holocaust. It is a great shift. It's like it's the house of God. All those things that are no longer in harmony with the plans of the plans of the New Age is been shaken down. And everything. So sometimes the ways of God are impenetrable. We cannot phantom the ways of God. We have to trust. For only God knows God. I'm going to return to that. But it is about clearing up a lot of space in order for something new to be created. What comes around this situation is a dangerous pussy. The past is always reminding us that it needs to be balanced. And what we see before us, that will unfold before us in our conscious mind, is puja. It's a purification bath. It is about this purification. It's the kind of temperance. It's a purification. We need to continue this work of purification. What's in our distant past is transformation. It is the judgment. It is in 2012, there was a complete change in the realm of cause in the universe in relationship to all that is going on in this planet, but we haven't seen those changes. But they're coming very slowly, but they're coming, and so this change will continue. It has happened already, and now we're just part of the motion towards a greater light. Where we are now is the horseplay. It's about having fun, enjoying ourselves. It's about learning to enjoy life as much as we can. What's coming up in the near future is temptation. Temptation is an open window. It's an invitation. It is a doorway. I think it was Oscar Wilde that says, "I can resist everything except temptation." That's something I cannot resist. But we have to learn to utilize our will with discernment. It's not we let go of resistance, but there's certain things we need to resist in order to move forward. So it's about understanding that. But there is a door that's about to open. our strength in the situation is the pearl before swine. It means there is certain part of ourselves that we can trust and others that we cannot trust. For it is about discrimination. It's about being discriminating in relationship to what we choose to believe and who we associate with. And from there we have cutting through. It's about reform. It's about creating this revolution within ourselves. And this power of cutting through things. What comes to us from the outside world is Shiva, the pillar of fire. It is about this empowerment. It is something that's this great deal of light that is coming, and this great deal of mystery for the universe will maintain mystery. The mystery will go on, but there is this great light that is coming right now. And in our hopes and fear, we have the serpent power. It's the power of sexuality. It's the power of choice. It's the power of will. For sexuality, will and will is the same thing. It's it's this serpent that gives us the choice always to choose certain things and to choose something else. And the outcome is mother's milk. It is this longing, this desires for the two sides of duality to return to this great unity. For it is also a card of success, and so it's about this return to unity, to the greater self. We're going to be far more integrated, and we'll be able to let go of many memories that will be reorganized. I'm trying to offer ideas. Sometimes it's just ideas and a great spectrum of ideas. For all those ideas will not work for everybody. I'm just trying to offer inspiration that comes to me. I want to share that. I hope they resonate. For we are bursting into the fifth dimensional light, and the birth is painful. It's difficult for birth. There's birth pain, and it's like even the planet is having a hard time with this birth pain into the fifth dimension. Originally, there was no birth pain. God did not create human beings to have birth pains. But at some point in our history, a long history, there was a race of reptilians that came here to the planet, and they wanted to mate with human beings, but they were absolutely not compatible. So the universe said, "Do not do that," but they did it anyway. And this reptilian genetics first is it keeps us locked into the drama of the reptilian brain. It's a very, but it also, because of those interactions, it created this birth pain, and this is because there is a part of our genetics that needs to be aligned and transmuted. In the future, those things will be resolved. For all, it's about level of consciousness. Something may be true on some level and completely untrue on some other level. So everything is relative when it comes to knowledge. From a metaphysical standpoint, the fifth dimensional reality, the fifth dimension is the return of God, the return of goodness, the return of mercy, the return of truth, the return of inclusion. So all those things are in the works. Just we cannot wait for everybody to catch up on that. We need to work with our own soul and spirit. For light workers are here to unify the world, and understand that all the spiritual tools will not work for you. It's not about accumulating spiritual tools. It's about practicing something that works for you. Any one tool, or sometimes we have to let go of the tools to embrace new tools or new process or whatever. But it's very easy to understand that this unification is important, because the little difference can make a lot of difference. Let's look at the great religions. They have the same God, the same great principle, but there are little differences in the dogmas, in the way it was revealed, and so they're fighting and opposing each other rather than focusing on the love of the God that they all adore and worship. And so we're here to unify, to find a common ground. For light workers have always been warriors, peacemakers. And I see that more and more people are turning to love. Of course, there are those who are still cold-hearted, that are greedy and selfish. We see them as well. But more and more people, I see them, and they're evolving in their ability to be kind and to be generous and to be sensitive, to be empathic, in order to assess the world and to become more harmonious. We have to understand that all distraction and deception that comes from the darker programs are whole catalyst to our own self-empowerment. And so, because it helps us to determine the strengths, it creates the strengths to work for the highest good, regardless of the situation. So all of those things are very important, and always seek to be your most loving self. We are moving into a quantum vision, from a linear to a quantum vision, and for that we need to integrate paradoxes. There are about 100 paradoxes that we need to integrate in order to graduate from that plane. And it's like every detail is important in life, and yet on this life here on this earth, yet nothing is really important, because it's only a play, it's only an experience, a stage. And so it's about finding this point of balance. And so for the truth about, we're going to ascend and find the fifth dimension and realize much, and then we'll continue to ascend. Every time we move into a new level, we'll have to adopt new truths, let go of the lower truths to the ever-increasing truths, all the way back home to paradise, where we'll meet the first source and center, and then we'll become trinitized, we'll become mighty messengers, at which point the time and space will hold no more mystery. We'll know it all. We'll be trinitized. We'll work exclusively for the paradise Trinity. Will be sent back into the universe, but yet we won't know about the four levels of transcendental realities. Those will only be revealed. Those are secrets that the God keeps about the future of the cosmos and the universe. We'll be sending assistance to the world until the whole of time and space will have achieved this ascension. And so on paradise, we know, it's been told that only the eternal Son and the infinite Spirit can claim to know God as an infinite. For everybody else, eternity and infinity is just an act of faith. For only God knows God. And so it's about understanding, accepting that, and trusting. Also, I was talking about this coronavirus. Of course, if you're in a zone where there is a risk, it's you wear gloves. Don't, just be conscious. It's just common sense, and with all those things. But the more we are afraid of something, the more vulnerable we become. Mostly about those kind of things, because if we're afraid, our immune system shrinks, and so we become more vulnerable. So it's about not being afraid of those things, yet not taking unnecessary risk, but to know that is this the fear that will make us vulnerable. So it's about letting go of fear. We're learning that. And so it is a process, because we've accumulated through many incarnations so many layers and layers, like an onion, and the more we peel, the more we see that there's more to cleanse, more to do, and it's like a never-ending story. It feels like it, but there will come a point of resolution at some point. Behind me is some of the paintings that here is this is part of a series of 7 paintings. It's called I Am That I Am, 2013. The central sphere, the white sphere, is symbolic of the great central sun, and there is a spiral coming out of it, and then galaxies that are swinging around it. This is a painting on the wall. Is a painting of a transition painting. It's very, very deep. This painting there's so much depth in it. It's like there's a lot of it's almost there's certain aspects that are abstract, and then there is the star formation. It's about the dissolution into higher realm. And on this painting, the stars are very prominent. It is a cosmic painting. Those paintings are doorways into higher dimension. I hope that I will very soon be able to find a place in the world, for I do believe that there is a place for me in this world with my art. That certain maybe 5 or 10% of the collectors right now could find interest in such an interdimensional sort of art. And but they are doorway to higher dimension. It means that with time there is a match in our spirit can elevate us just through the awaken cellular memories, and so it's I think they're important. I hope that I will be able to, that this generation will be able to find interest in that. Otherwise, I hope they will survive me. Although I do paint for myself to satisfy my own curiosity in what I can do with those processes. I'm going to finish with a song and pull 4 more cards. And so it's an old song from the 1960s. For the 60s were very, very potent times. It was the hippie movement, make love, not war. All the musicians were really engaged in this non-violent form of expression. Yet we haven't quite mastered that. We're still in 60s, 60 years later, we're still implicated in so many wars, but very soon we're gonna the universe will put an end to that, but there is certain chaos that may come before that, to force men to make choices, to get out of their comfort zone, and it's not an easy process, but we have to trust that there is a higher plan at work, and we have to take care of our own self and our own environment. It's very important to remain conscious. And so it's a song, I think it was a band called Procol Harum. It's a romantic song. It goes like this. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed, with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you, yes I love you, oh I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. And I love you, yes I love you, oh I love you. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed, with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you, yes I love you, oh I love you. Well, it's an older song. For when we're in love, we become blind. There's so much that we do not see because this love is so powerful. Same thing with light. So when we communicate light, it's good not to blind people, to just calibrate the light so we can enlighten without blinding. There's another thing that he says in this song that is very significant. It's just what you want to be, you will be in the end. Everything we do during this life, it's what we're going to become at the end. So it is important. The choices are important. And we want to let go of judgment on ourselves. We want to be in acceptance and to allow our own soul and spirit to guide us through the process. For the highest wisdom for us today is the achievement. What we need to understand is the higher self. The soul and the spirit and the guides and the monad. What we need to do is responsibility, and the outcome is resources. So it's all in the works, it's all coming together. Finally, it's been a long process. For spirit is not in a hurry, for spirit is eternal, so there's never a rush from a spirit point of view. When we're in a situation that's not comfortable, we want to come out of it as soon as possible. But once we find a place that is stable, that is comfortable, then we can discover the freedom that comes from that security of love, and there is no more, we do not want to rush through the process of our life, otherwise we won't have time to smell the roses. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much. Namaste.